Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. In this video, I'm going to pick up where I left off in the last video. So let's go. So this step right here is the whole reason I bought this tool, was to make these mortise and tenons. I'll definitely use this for other projects. I wouldn't have bought it just for that, but it was a huge factor into why I bought this. To make a good quality window, I need to have good mortise and tenon joinery. And I looked at all the different options that there are. There's the domino from Festool Tools that makes a domino. Basically it makes a mortise, and then you take a domino and stick it in both the mortises and it makes a mortise and tenon. But to me it's a pretty weak joint. It's basically like doing a biscuit joint. Also you could use biscuit joints, but that's another weak ass joint. It's pathetic. You might as well just butt glue it. And then the other would be a hollow chisel mortiser, which those cost a small fortune. Basically, if you look at all those tools that you could buy, this tool is equivalent to those tools, and this tool can do so much more. So to me, this tool was a good investment, and it's something that I will use for a long time, and I will cherish and take care of forever and ever and ever. Amen. Okay, you ready? Put the first piece in. But my material go a 1/16 inch over 3/4, 1 3/4 inches, which is what I want my depth to be. Make sure I'm tight, tight, and tight. 3 points I want to check. Get ready. So I'm just going to double check this to make sure that I have the same thing. And Matthias, if you want to send me some calipers, I would love them, because I know those are your prized possessions. Man, that is so freaking close. I will come back to you when I do the tenons. I'm going to do that over and over again. I have this set up so everything is perfect, locked in. Everything is good. Don't with nothing. Definitely going to have to hook the air compressor up to blow all these out. But those are freaking beautiful. I mean, look at that shit. You can't do that with any other tool. It's amazing. It's freezing. It's not even just a little cold, it's a lot of cold. So last night I did a lot of the tenons on my pieces. I've set up this vacuum not to suck but to blow, and it's blowing all the dust that way into a bucket. I mean, I do have some that collects in here, which I got to clean up after, but I've been staying on top of the cleaning after each cut, and it hasn't been bad. Did I jump? I bet you $1 million I jumped right there. That scared me a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I do my tenons. Now this block here, which I referenced off of this piece right here, so this mortise right here butted into that. I keep this in the same orientation, and I can take my vertical pieces and place them up against there, and it'll make the tenon in the same location that this piece is. I don't have to change anything. I added these right here to push that way, and then I've been taking 2 clamps and clamping it right here, and I haven't had any problems. So I clamped this piece in so it's hanging over about 2 inches. I'm only going to do 1 3/4 inch tenon on this, but I want to make sure I don't hit my table, which with this tool it is capable of doing that. So I bring this up to my bit and I lock my stop in here, and then I lock the other stop down here at 1 3/4 inches. Now I've already checked this and made sure that everything's good, but after you do one, you want to take one of your pieces and check it and make sure it fits in there. It's a little snug, but one thing I did notice is that in the top of this template is this little groove right here, and that groove is throwing a groove into this because I needed to bring this follower down farther on that taper to make this the correct size. So now, since my tenon is offset from the center, when I flip this piece I need to go end for end. I don't want to twist it. So I'll take the clamps off, take it out and flip it end for end. You probably didn't see that very well. And then I'll just reset everything up again. Now you probably know this already, but this blade is extremely sharp. I cut myself about 7 times just by touching my hand against the blade. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 cuts on my hand just from reaching in here and coming in contact with that blade. extremely sharp. Sharpest thing I've owned ever. So be mindful of that. The gloves are not for that. It's because it's freaking cold. Ah, I get sawdust everywhere. Like, if there's a crack, it's there. So that's it for this tool pretty much. I probably will come back to this tool on other projects, but all my mortise and tenons are done. So now I got to take all those pieces and put a groove in them to accept the window. I'm going to be using a combination of table saw and a router. If you watched my video where I built my door, you know that I didn't have a router table. And I since purchased one for this project. This project's becoming expensive. You can obviously tell. But I bought a router table so that I can set it up. This was like 160 bucks. And then I bought a huge router bit, which does a groove 1 inch by 1.25 inches. So that's a big hunky chunk material. So all those pieces are going to get grooves in them. The reason I bought the table is because I need to do real precise grooves into it, because I'm going to stop at some locations. You'll see when I do it, I guess. How long is this video so far? You still with me? I hate mice. Peanut, hit them. I'm not going to get them, Dad. Cannot do it. Just some more. They're too fast. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, wow. They're like Usain Bolts. I'm going to assemble this. Bam! And I've got myself a brand new routing table. Do you see this right here? These are all the leftover screws. I've assembled some stuff before, but that's a lot of freaking extra screws. And I think those have to do with setting this up with a whole smorgasbord of routers. I hope, at least. So I'm going to set this up and get it ready to make my pieces. I think what I'm going to do is make a thing that holds the panel router, and then it also holds my routing table, so I can switch the two inside of a box so they both can be used. That's a good idea. A sheet of plywood, you're talking a couple bucks. FYI, it's cold, okay? It's not even like just chilly. It's the coldest it's ever been. Wait. Hold on, here it comes. There it is. Okay, sorry. Shameless, I know. Is it kind of in the shot? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, those are available somewhere. I don't know where. Probably in the description if you check it out somewhere. These are possibly a thing that exists. Oh, easy, honey. So I'm going to put my window inside of these pieces, and I'm going to have, 4 going around the whole thing. Now I need to notch out. If you watch my door series, you know that I notched this piece out to accept the window, and then I did a window stop on the inside of the house. I'm going to do the exact same thing. There's going to be some modifications, but for the most part I need to make that notch. So what I've done is taken a scrap block that I have with a tenon in it. Did I get the right word? Yeah, I got it. So this dimension here, from here to the back side of that cut, is a 1/2 inch, and then from this edge to that depth is a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to end up with a 1/2 inch piece of material right here. So now that I've got it set up, I'm going to go and run all my pieces through it. Now it doesn't matter which way I run these pieces through it. If I run it this way or this way, it doesn't matter, because they're all interchangeable like that. I thought about it. I did some thinking, and the thinking, yeah, I hope, otherwise I'm wrong. I mean, it is a comfortable work environment. I've had some uncomfortable work environments before. This one is within reason. I mean, what are you gonna do? Okay. I'm gonna put them to the saw and cut them. I need to plug SawStop for a second. I hate you. I think you're a ridiculous company. You have a horrible business model. You have something that could potentially save thousands of lives, fingers, limbs, whatever, and you've decided to withhold that patent from other companies to utilize it, and that's f***ed up, and I hate you for that. So f*** you, SawStop. Unless you want to sponsor me, I mean, I'm totally down to be sponsored by you. I mean, if you want to send me a saw, I'll use it and promote it in all my videos. Okay, thank you. These are the most dangerous tool you can use, especially when you're intoxicated like I am. Oh, is the panty dropper in the background? Oh, the panty dropper is in the background. Hey! HybridPanRouter.com. Check them out. messed up on that one. I let it get away with me on the saw. I let it have its way. Hey, at least somebody's having their way with me, you know? So I reset the saw after I made that initial cut, and then I made this second cut in this direction, and that removed a bulk of this material. I wish I could include copyrighted music in my videos, but that's not allowed. YouTube policy, sorry. So you just saw me take the table saw and remove a majority of this material right here. But what happened, which I know you probably won't believe it, but I'm gonna show you. You see how rough it is right there? And you see how I overcut? So what I'm gonna do is take the router table and clean this up, and it'll bring this to the correct dimension, and this, it'll smooth this over. It'll make it nice. So here's one of the window frames. It's gonna go like this though, okay? I'm gonna have to do the same type of groove on this piece, but I can't overcut it. So right now I'm gonna do these, get these good, and then I'm gonna go back to the table saw and figure out all these pieces. That's gonna be harder. This is easier. Words and stuff, I speak them and they're good. I just want to address something real quick. YouTube comments. This is not going to make it into the video unless it comes out nice. I make these videos to document my build for me, and I like to have fun when I'm doing it. I swear, Peanut swears. It's a shit show. If anything, it's not like any other woodworking show on YouTube. It is completely different, and that is the whole reason I do what I'm doing. So the other day I had somebody comment saying that they were going to unsubscribe because I was a bad influence on their 4-year-old. I do not make these videos for a 4-year-old to watch. That's, I mean, I've been swearing in my videos since probably, if you're in the Play series, since probably like, I can't remember. There was a not safe for work video, which was like probably episode 10 or something like that. And that's when I started developing this show that I've been doing. I had somebody say something kind of mean, and I kind of snapped back at them. And then they were like, "Oh man, I was just messing with you. I was just messing with you a little bit," or something like that. I don't need that. That's the most discouraging thing, is to have somebody messing with you as a joke. I put so much effort into making these videos, it's insane. I mean, doing the projects is one thing, but doing these projects is a quarter of the actual time that I spend on these videos. I just hate YouTube comments. Let's just leave it at that. And yes, I've been saying tenon wrong. Tenon. I just realized it. Someone pointed it out in a video. I just had the tenon video come out from my front door, and I've said tenon about 5,000 times, and I'll probably continue to say tenon. Tenant. I have it written over there. Tenon. 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 I'm just gonna say tenon from now on. Tenon, because that's how it should be said, right? Ten on. It's the past tense of it, because now it's made, so now it's a tenant. Because a tenon is something that you're thinking of, and then the past is tenant. A tenon. A tenon. A tenon. I'm just adding a T on the end. Leave me alone. Just let me do my thing. So I've got my 2 scrap pieces that I've been doing all my work on. So I set the fence up to the correct depth, and then I set the blade up to the correct depth. I installed these feather boards. This one's really the only one that's touching. This one was kind of making it too hard to push through the thing. Yeah, I ran a test on it. This was exactly a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch deep too, I hope. So the reason I went with these dimensions is because I'm going to do a 5/8 inch thick window right here, and then I'm going to do another 1/2 inch stop, and it'll leave a strong 1/16 right here, and I'm going to chamfer that edge. The insides of these windows will look just like the door I did. Okay, stop talking. I noticed you talk way too much. Now when you're using a router table, if you don't know this, you always want to go in this direction. There's arrows that tell you that. Feather boards are the same way. Feed direction, always go that direction. Make sure you keep constant pressure on this surface and this surface. That is not 18 pieces are done. I got 18 more to go. All right, like I said earlier, I need to make this notch that goes into these pieces. So what I've done is taken one of the top or bottom pieces, placed it in there, and then took a pencil and marked this point right here. And then I also need to know the depth, but that's kind of irrelevant. And I did that on both the top and bottom. Doesn't matter which is which at this point. So now I've got those 2 marks on both ends. So now I can take this over to the table saw and start removing some material. So I set my blade height and the fence so it's just off the back of this, and it's just short of the top of the cut there. So that way I can router up to it after I'm done. Then I took this piece and I figured out where the back of the blade was coming up on to this point right here. Once I got that point, I took my pencil and I put a mark on my thing right here. I should put it here so I can see it. That's smarter. So I put 2 reference marks on the table and then also on the fence. And those reference marks represent this point right here. It's about this distance right here that I have is the same distance from the blade to this line. Now I'm keeping it back about an 1/8 inch. So you can see I did this one as a test. And right here is my pencil mark. And there's the saw mark right here. So I'm going to need to come up a little bit and do that little thing with Jiggy right there. But so now that I've got the saw set up and my reference points, I can make this cut in all the pieces. Now there is no left, right on these things. As long as these hole majolars are facing out, I'll be good. Now the one thing that sucks about this is that I got to drop this onto the spinning blade, which is very dangerous. Don't recommend that at all. Now everything I just did there is dangerous. Bringing a piece of wood back on the blade like that in the wrong direction is probably the most dangerous thing you could possibly do with a table saw. I know somebody will say, well, no, that's dangerous, sir, than doing that. No, shut up. Everything's dangerous with this tool, but that's freaking dangerous. Safety police, we're good. Did I address safety concerns? So now I'm going to cut all those, and then I'll figure this next cut, and then I'll show you how I remove that material. Now since I have these marks now, I don't need to put any other reference marks in these. As long as this is facing out, I know that this edge comes to this line, and this edge comes to this line. So zoop, 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 zoop. Lots of zooping going on, okay? So I finished all these cuts. Now I need to make this other cut here. I reset my fence and my blade height so that it'll be just inside that and just off of that. And then I had to, since I adjusted the blade height, I needed to recalculate these marks here. I've done that. One thing I noticed is that when I'm lowering this piece down, I want to be bringing this back while I'm lowering it and watching this line right here and looking at this depth and trying to get this so that it's perfect so I don't need to come back on the blade. Makes sense? I'll show you what I've been doing. So you can see my 2 cuts right there. I could have gone a little deeper on both of them, but I'd rather work up to it with a chisel and another tool that I'm going to show you. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, 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 if you really like these videos, make sure you hit the subscribe, thumbs up, comment, great things. Please, no negative stuff. You'll just get blocked because I can't take that stuff anymore. I'm done with the negatives. You're done. You're done, kids. And also guys, if you want to help support my channel, I have a Patreon page. It's going to be linked in the description below. All that money that comes from Patreon will go towards a second tiny house build. And that is going to be a budget-friendly build. I'm just going to try to get everything for dirt cheap, if not free. And it will be completely funded by you guys. But I'll continue to make highly detailed videos on how to build a tiny house. I'm going to go back into how to frame and do all the things that a lot of you guys want to know how to do. So if you would like to see that become a thing, please go check out my Patreon page. Again, links in the description. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.